My pets died the most horrific deaths. Most horrific. And you know something would happen because you would just hear my mom from 2 doors down yell, "Oh, shit! The parakeet just flew into the ceiling fan!"
Bury me where the stars will always shine, and the silly out-of-towners can leave their pretty flowers on my grave. I live in Hollywood forever.
I mean, it's every young comic's dream to perform for Mickey Rooney. It is a great place to perform comedy, though, because if you die laughing, it is very convenient. I don't know if you know this, but like as a comedian, you have to say what you look like when you come on stage. It's just like a contract that we sign at the beginning. And so usually I just say I look like Charlize Theron in Monster, but I said that and somebody came up to me after a show and it's like, I know what you really look like. You look like you bully children on the ski slopes. Yeah, and I was mad at her because she's right. Those little shits need to get off the bunny hill. Can a woman in her late 30s learn how to ski? In peace. Some of you, if you've never seen me before, you probably are like trying to place me right now. And I am one of 2 members of the 1999 Good Shepherd Lutheran Handbell Choir, if that's what you, yeah, it's not a big deal. But my sister and I, we signed up for the handbell choir. We were the only people to sign up for the handbell choir. The only people. We were sweating our asses off. Okay? We were exhausted. Carol of the Bells was not good. Okay? And if you don't know what handbell choir is, first of all, congratulations, you're not a loser. You wear a formal robe, okay? And then they give you these white gloves, protective gloves that you have to put on. And then you hold 2 handbells just like this. And this is the most important part. You hold 2 handbells like this, and you just stay a virgin for the rest of your life. Congratulations. Ding dong, you're a loser. Our church was a dump. It was, anyone else go to church that was a dump? Total, like, I feel like Lutheran churches especially, they're just dumps. I don't know. I don't think God is signing off on all these church franchises. Like, sometimes I'm like, that's an old Ford dealership for sure. Our church was just an old IHOP. It had the blue roof and everything. They just put E at the end of it. And yeah, my dad, he never went to church with us because he is a Jehovah's Witness and also was in prison for most of my life. But also, he was a Jehovah's Witness. My grandma, very devout Catholic, very devout, and she's very nice. She's one of the good ones. She's so nice. She said to me, she's like, you know, the gays, they can come back now. The gays can come back to the Catholic Church. And I was like, that's not why I left. Like, I wasn't like, I'm gay and I'm getting out of here. I was like, this is boring, I'm leaving. This book sucks. It's boring. None of these people can sing. I just don't like I don't want to shit on anyone's faith, especially in this cemetery. Really, whatever you need to do to get you through this life, fine. I just don't like the religious people that put it into law and then they use their religion as a reason for that. Like what's going on in Alabama right now, that's crazy because they're basically saying a frozen embryo should be considered a person. And as somebody who has gone through the fertility process, I know that's crazy because I have seen my best friend's sperm, who is our sperm donor, I have seen it in a pipette, you know? I know that that's not a person. I know that that's just an orgasm he had in room 11, okay? watching straight porn. Because they didn't have any gay porn. I just don't know where they're going with this. Like, I feel like they're just one step away from taking a sock full of jizz and placing it in a stroller and just wheeling it down the street. Oh, have you met my son, Jack? Short for Jackie Lee? I'm originally from Normal, Illinois. Yeah, big fans? Okay. Normal, Illinois is the home of the first Steak and Shake, so that's not nothing. Yeah, but it's close to nothing. It's nothing plus diarrhea, so. Yeah, I'm from Normal, Illinois. I was a 4-H kid growing up. I don't know, a lot of people in cities don't know what 4-H is. It's not an STD. 4-H is for kids who love farm animals. Like, we love livestock and we love to like show our farm animals around fairs. But it's like in a very respectable way with the animals. There's nothing weird going on. In 4-H, horse girls are like top status, right? They have high status. That's how you know you are in a loser group, because the horse girls are doing well. And I don't mean horse girls like girls who own a horse. I mean horse girls like girls who think they're horses. Most popular girls in 4-H. Okay? My talent in 4-H was I had long-haired guinea pigs. And I showed the long-haired guinea pigs at the fair. And I would give them blowouts, full HMU. And it was the 90s, so you know a few of them had the Rachel. They were adorable. We loved having little pets when we were younger. We had so many little pets. At one time I counted we had 14 little pets at our house. We had like, poor people love little pets. Like, we'll have so many little pets and no electricity. It doesn't make any sense. We had everything from like parakeets to hamsters to fleas. And then my friends had a dog. Like, my friends who were middle class and up, one pet, a golden retriever. It like died of old age. My pets died the most horrific deaths. Most horrific. And you know something would happen because you would just hear my mom from 2 doors down yell, "Oh, shit! The parakeet just flew into the ceiling fan! Jesus H. Christ! The hamster just got out through the pipes." Mr. Marbles did, but he survived, so no need to shed a tear for him. He pulled a Shawshank Redemption. So when I got older, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna have regular pets. So now I have a dog, and it's a Chihuahua Terrier. So it's like the size of 2 guinea pigs taped together. And we adopted him from the mean streets of Santa Monica, California. Yes, very tough streets out there. I just couldn't stand to see another pet watch a Creation Organic open. I couldn't let it happen. So we adopted this dog, and when we got him, they said he's a year old. And then we bring him home, we bring him to our vet. The vet says this dog is a minimum 10 years old. Minimum 10 years old. I mean, I think I'm bringing home a newborn. This guy's 75 years old. He's watching Yellowstone. He doesn't give a shit about pronouns. When we got him, we wanted to change his name because his name was Sam, and my wife's name is also Sam. But then we find out he's like 100 years old. We're like, you can't change his name. You can't go up to somebody on their deathbed and be like, "Hey, Papa, your name's Travis now, okay?" Yeah. So we're like, let's just try it. Yeah, so we changed the name. We changed my wife's name to Buddy. She's happy now. No, she chose it. She chose it. I have a wife. And she has one too. Yeah, I just found out she's gay, and I think it's cool. Should have known the signs were there. She was always talking about getting a Subaru. I was going down on her. And we met here in Los Angeles. This is the place that we fell in love. Thank you. We met at a bowling alley. We met at Chateau Lanes. You guys know that? Yeah, we met at Chateau Lanes. We met at an event called Les Bowl. I'm very embarrassed to tell you that. Okay, I tried to hide that for a long time. And my friends are like, no, you should not be embarrassed about that. That is a modern day lesbian love story. Yeah, and to be fair, every lesbian love story is a modern day lesbian love story. Yeah, but I'm very embarrassed about us meeting at Les Bowl because I have to explain that to my grandkids one day. Like, I have to be like, where did I meet Grandike? I don't know what we're gonna call each other. We're workshopping some names, but Grand Dyke sounds awesome. Where did I meet Grand Dyke? Well, we met at Les Bowl. She put 3 fingers in that bowling ball, and I knew she was game. They were the right fingers. She wasn't even wearing a wrist guard, which is basically raw dogging in my community. I'll stop, okay. You guys look horrified. It's like this moment that people get a little horrified. They're like, is that lesbian sex? It's just like a claw? I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, I'm a mom. Oh, thanks. Oh, a little whistle for the mom, a little cat call. Hey, we need it too. I am a mom. I had a baby right before the pandemic. It was bad timing. I had a geriatric pregnancy, which basically means I'm a bit of an old mom. They call it advanced age pregnancy now, which I think sounds worse somehow. But I do highly recommend having a baby at an older age if you like to pee and walk at the same time. You guys are in the splash zone right here. Yeah. I think this is adorable. The teachers at my daughter's daycare, they say that they know who has the older parents because when the toddlers get up, they make noise. Just the most adorable scene. Just all these 2-year-olds like, oh, to be one again. The kids that have young parents, they say things like, when I grow up, I want to be a firefighter. Not my daughter. She's like, anything with a good pension. Yeah, that'll do. I learned a lot about, I had the baby. My wife scammed me. It's a long story. She basically saw me have the baby and then changed her mind about her having the baby after me. And I'm thinking about suing her. But I learned a lot when I was pregnant. I learned that my friends are dumb. It's not their fault. I am friends with all stand-ups. And I was 5, maybe 6 months pregnant when I told a friend of mine, I said, hey, great news, I'm pregnant. And her first question right out of the gate was, are you gonna keep it? I don't know how you think I made this baby with my wife. Heavily planned, not a mistake. Like, I didn't get so drunk and wake up one morning and it's like, oh my God, what happened last night? I got so drunk. Did I pay a fertility doctor $12,000? No. So many steps to the process. My daughter will never have like the grit of a child made by mistake. There were so many steps. We had to get a lawyer. One of the things they made us do, our fertility clinic, they made us all go to therapy. We had to. I had to go to therapy. My wife had to go. Our sperm donor had to go. And at the time, it felt like a mild hate crime. But now, in retrospect, I'm like, that's not a bad idea. Like, maybe anyone who wants to procreate should have to go to therapy first. Like, yeah. It's my Shark Tank pitch. Of course, if that were the case, none of us would be here tonight. Yeah. Can't imagine my mom and my dad going to therapy. Yeah, it really makes me giggle. My mom is my best friend, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, actually. Yes. She is my best friend. Her stories are insanely boring. They are getting out of control boring. So detailed. I don't know if your parents are like this. Her stories have to start at the very beginning of the day. Even if she's telling me a statement from her life, she has to start at when she woke up. She'll be like, oh yeah, so I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The thunderstorms were really bad rolling in from Chicago, so I couldn't sleep. So I went downstairs and I decided I was going to make myself some eggs, and I got some scrambled eggs because Dr. Kyle said that I need to get more protein. He actually moved his offices. They're not in Lombard anymore. They're in Oak Brook now, which is nice because it's by the Pottery Barn and by the drive-through Panera Bread. But yeah, and then Callie needed to take a walk because her bladder's not doing well. And so I decided to put on my Brooks gym shoes. I've been wearing those in case there's any precipitation outside. It's really good grip. And then I've been using the Hokas as my jogging shoes for the runners group. And then I've been using this new brand called On for my formal gym shoes. 45 minutes into this story, we are not even at 11 a.m. in her day. I said, Mom, what is this story about? Oh, Cheryl got lupus. Cheryl got lupus? Okay, I can see how the gym shoes would. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the map now. That makes sense. I love my mom, but she was like, at the beginning of learning that I was gay, she was not good. She did not start off good, okay? Because my brother, he came out to her a year before me. And when my brother came out to my mom, she said, oh no, you're not gay. You're just like Ace Ventura. We still don't know what that means. Ace Ventura, like a pet detective? I don't understand. So then by the time I got to her, I said, Mom, I'm gay. And she said, oh God, not another one. As if I caught some sort of old-timey Irish plague. She's like, oh, saints preserve us. Not another Fargate. Oh no. Not another Fargate. I didn't think you'd get Maureen. And there's 5 kids in my family. There's 2 gays, and there's 3 boring ones. 2 gays and 3 others. And for a while, we were the favorites. My mom came around. She realized we're better. And the 2 gays were on top, and the 3 straights were on the bottom where they belong. And then that was ruined because my brother messed it up for the both of us. My brother went to my mom, and then he came out as a furry. It's okay if you don't know what that is. A furry is like a mascot for a team, but there is no team. And sometimes those furries have sex. They furk. And let it be known that I came up with the word furk. If I brought anything to humanity, it's furking. Yeah, my brother is a furry, and at this point, my mom's like, whatever happened to a good old-fashioned family secret? He is. I have learned so much about furry culture. I know so much. My brother was a furry. You can be a furry without the fursona, without the costume. He didn't have the costume for 10 years. And the reason he didn't have it is because it cost $10,000 to get one of those made. Yeah, you think you have fucking problems. My brother was in Wisconsin as a human when he wanted to be a dragon. And then he got his fursona. It is a dragon named Sin, S-Y-N. And so he got it, and he just got engaged. So his fiance is also a furry. He is a fox, okay? I just want you to picture this in your head. So they got engaged in the middle of the day at noon at a park in Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, okay. And I asked my brother, I was like, did anybody see this happen? Did anybody see this go down? He's like, oh yeah. He said, one lady came up to us and she said, you're gonna be in my nightmares tonight. I like being a lesbo, though. That's pretty cool. Love being a lesbian. You couldn't have told me in high school that we were going to be cool. I could have never seen that coming. Did not think lesbians would ever be cool. Now it's the cool thing to do. Lesbians right now, they're young, they're hot, and they're confident. And I'm not okay with that. It's too much. There's too much confidence. I want to be a vintage lesbian. I always have wanted to be a vintage lesbian. I love, do you remember your PE teachers growing up? This is exactly who I'm talking about. That's who I want to be. I want to be a coach. I want to be Coach Linda and Coach Susan. I call them huddle up lesbians. Huddle up! Huddle up! They're always telling a group of people to huddle up. Huddle up! Visors back, huddle up! I want to be the Jeff Foxworthy of huddle up lesbians. I want to be let's see if I can think of one on the spot. I want to be you don't, you think a Trader Joe's bag is a formal purse. If you think, yes, here we go. If you think a Trader Joe's bag is a formal purse, you might be a huddle up lesbian. Okay. Yeah. I think I can make it work. I hope he sues me. This is a beautiful venue, right? Have you guys ever been here? Let's go around one by one. It's so beautiful. I love performing in a space that has a system and a stage and a water set for me in case I get parched from all the moving around I do. You guys saw me do that. I went all the way over here. It's pretty big. I love when it's a real theater because I've performed in bowling alleys, on the train, on the subway. Yeah, why not have a comedy show there? I performed a few weeks ago at a show called Farts in LA, so that was huge for me. The only gig that I've ever said no to is a lesbian cruise. They asked me to do it, and I was like, that thing's sinking. I know it. Sorry, it's sinking with you on it. It's sinking. I'm so afraid of that sort of thing. And also, I know it's going to sink because granola by the ton is very heavy, and that's what we like. I love lesbians. I am lesbian, of course. I love lesbians. They are my chosen family. But just like my real family, I've chosen to never go on vacation with them. Because they are too competitive. 3,000 lesbians on a cruise, it's too many, because that thing is going to be sinking, and all these huddle up lesbians are going to be going by with the lifeboat just putting on the adopted pets before they put on any humans. It's going to be a really fucked up Titanic. It's going to be femme lesbians and corgis first. Yeah. I'm just not a cruise person. You'll never catch me on a cruise. I know I'm not a cruise person because I've never been in the lobby of a Holiday Inn and thought, you know what this is missing? The open sea. It was weird. It was weird being a little gay kid in Normal, Illinois, because it was actually outside of Normal. It was in the country. And in the 90s, I don't know if anyone was gay in the 90s, was not a lot out there. It was just Ellen DeGeneres. She was the only open lesbian. And if you didn't want to marry Ellen DeGeneres as an 8-year-old, you had to get creative. So what I used to do is I would just stay up late at night and I would write letters to Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Devon Sawa, Elijah Wood, Ryder Strong, basically anyone who sort of looked like a lesbian. They're getting a letter from me. I would just stay up like, Dear Jonathan T. Thomas, 'tis been a fortnight since last I wrote. I've recently taken up the hobby of watching my female friends slumber. Do you do the same? Let me know. I loved to draw as a kid. My mom used to say that she would find like little pieces of paper on the floor and she'd go to throw them away, but then they'd have like little villages on them. And I would create this whole world just like on a corner of a piece of paper. And she used to tell me that and then she'd just like throw it in the garbage. But I was like the kid in class that was like the artist. You know, there's one when you're in elementary school. I was the kid in second grade who could draw. And how you get that title is the hottest girl in the class says that you can draw. And right before Christmas break one year, the hottest girl in the class said that I drew kind of a realistic Santa. And so I became the artist. And the hottest girl in class's name was Mrs. Zimmerman. And I'll always love her. I love to draw. I still draw. You know, I drew like my entire childhood, and then I took a break when I started stand-up comedy. There's just no time, guys. There's just no time. So I took this big, long break, and then right before I turned 30, I was at rock bottom. I know that because I was living in Lombard, Illinois with my mom at her house. And I don't know if you've been to Lombard, Illinois, but there are 3 Panera Breads in Lombard, Illinois. There is the good one, the close one, and the one with a drive-through. And I was there, very depressed. I was eating a Pop-Tart for dinner, and I was crying. And something inside of me was like, I want to draw this. And so I got my paper out, and I drew this like little comic, and then it said, my best friend just bought a house and I'm eating a Pop-Tart for dinner. And I felt better after I did that, so I gave myself this challenge. I was like, you know what? Every morning that I wake up and I'm feeling sorry for myself, I'm gonna draw a comic. And I'm gonna see how many I have in the span of 1 year. And at the end of the year, I had 360 comics. I had a few good days in there. And so I just kept drawing, like, for years, and then I got a book deal. I'm not just telling you that to brag. I got a book deal from drawing these comics, and then the pandemic happened, and I was like, well, this is great, because I'm just gonna live off of this money that I'm gonna make from this book. But unfortunately, I did not make any money from this book. Because I probably have the worst title for a book coming out right before a global pandemic. I don't know if you saw it outside. It's called How to Die Alone. Yeah. A lot of people were trying to avoid that. They're for sale in the lobby. I'd love to get a jet ski.
That's a what the original one was.
Yeah.
And then, Mo, are you gonna be in the way of someone?
I can move off to the side. Just
Also,
Yeah, you go over it like
I'll just go here, and if I'm obstructing a little bit of it, it's okay. Sam, do you want to go to the mole?
yeah, I'm going to. Mo, are you gonna run any of the material?
Yeah, I can run it just a little bit right now. So we're gonna do, so to end the show, I'd love to start, I would love to do a story here that I actually debuted here 2 years ago, so it seems like the right spot to do it. This is a story that I illustrated for you, and it's about my mole, so I hope you like mole comedy. So the story begins with me going to the dermatologist for the very first time.
Sorry.
Sam!
Yeah. Oh, wait, go ahead. Is there any way to put the audio on that, Mo?
No, it sounds good, I like it.
The reason I went to the dermatologist is because I realized that my face is not in its 20s anymore, and that was confusing, and I was not okay with that. So I thought maybe I could get a cream for that, you know? The reason my skin was so gross was because I, got pregnant and had a baby. Having a baby ruined my skin and my recreational basketball career and my friend life and my real career. But other than that, motherhood is such a gift, and I highly recommend it. It's just a gift that's sometimes smeared in shit and piss. While I was at the dermatologist, she noticed on my back I have this really gross, ugly mole. and mole comedy, like I said. She noticed that I had this mole, and she checked it out, and she's like, "This looks wrong. I want to send this off for testing." And I did that thing that I always do at doctors. I just denied that I ever knew that existed. I was like, "What? There's a mole back there? I had no idea." "Yeah, it's back there. How would I know that it was back there?" But I always knew that this mole was there. I mean, it was like a freckle at one point. It was a newborn mole, and then it grew up with me into a big ugly mole. It was in a very high traffic area. It was right where the bra strap, right there. Very inconvenient. And it was hard to buy clothes. Swimsuit shopping was very hard for me. Even for my wedding, this is how much I do not want to go do something. I wore a cape for my wedding, okay? My cape was not fashion, it was just to hide my mole. The mole, it wasn't a traditionally pretty mole either. It was more of a character actor. And I love to avoid important things. That's why I never went to go get it checked out. But the thing about ignoring is that you can turn your back on your family and your friends, but you can't turn your back on your mole because your mole's on your back. Okay? So while I was at the dermatologist, she was shady, by the way, of course. I get scammed so much. She was immediately shady. She said that she would take the mole off, send it off for testing, but also I could get 20% off of Botox. That's how I knew that she was shady. I was like, I do not want a BOGO sale in a hospital setting, okay? But yeah, she gave me this menu, the Chipotle-like menu, to look at it, and she charged me $200 to scrape that bad boy off. Yeah, and just like that, it was gone. So my mole was getting sent off for testing in the big city, getting probed by scientists, and meanwhile I was at home. And before I would go to the shower, I would notice this vacant lot on my back where my mole once lived. And honestly, it's really weird to admit this, but at the time, I was genuinely sad. I felt guilty about it. I was like, do I miss my mole? Yeah, I guess I did. Anyway, I thought about this when I was getting no sleep because my baby does not sleep at all. I think I got really lucky. I didn't get postpartum depression, but I got like postpartum hallucination or something because I could not stop thinking about my mole. I was like, my mole only knows life through living it with me. Like everything it knows about life is through living it with me. You know, it's always been there for me. It was there when I was happy, when I was sad, when I got dumped, when I had a baby. Do not be afraid of it. It happens to everybody. Okay? But I kept like messaging the dermatologist because she was shady and she wasn't getting back to me. Eventually she's like, yes, everything's fine. And then I'm like up late at night, you know, so I'm just telling her in my complete like delirium, I'm just like, where is the mole though? She's like, we don't keep the moles. She's like, we don't like donate the mole to a donor. Like we don't give the mole away. And I could not stop thinking about my mole. I'm telling you, every single day when I had this newborn baby, I was just like, where the fuck did they put those moles? Like, where did they go? And I just kept thinking about it, and eventually I was just like, I don't know where the mole is, but I sort
Bury me where the stars will always shine, and the silly out of town